And I'm calling this public hearing on economic liquor license to order. Um, This is for the purpose of receiving public input for a request by RDH Downtown LLC to obtain an economic development liquor license for the premises at 10 North Pitt Street, Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Mr. Solicitor, anything else we need to get on the record? It was duly advertised.
It has been, and just for council's benefit, this is for public comment by only residents of the municipality, the borough here.
Okay, thank you. Because we always get so much public comment. But if a representative from the applicant would like to make a brief presentation to give us some context, and then I'll call for public comment. And I'll just need your name and address for the record, if you'll come up to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Huey. My address is 2351 Oakwood Hills Drive, Mechanicsburg, PA, 17055. I am a new associate down at Martz & Law, and we represent a client that goes by RDH Downtown. They are here to present on an awesome opportunity to ask this board for a resolution to get an economic development liquor license so that they may add to the economic development of this community and also bring an awesome old business, but also revitalized business back to the downtown area. So without further ado, I will turn it over to an owner of RDH Downtown, Kevin.
Thank you very much, Brandon. Appreciate it. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kevin Rockwood, one of the owners of RDH Downtown. My address is 243 Southwest Street, right here in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We are looking to get an economic development license for 10 North Pitt Street, which was the former home of Alibis. We're looking to open a casual restaurant to complement 113 Social, which we just opened back in January. Any questions or context that I can offer for the new business?
Any questions from council? Okay. Mr. Solicitor, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I have one question. Mr. Huey, does your client agree to pay the borough's attorney's fees, advertising costs, and other costs associated with this hearing?
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Looks like no other questions, Kevin. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And then I'll call for any public comment on this item. Is there anybody here in the audience tonight who would like to comment on this one? None. And do we have anybody by Zoom? Okay. Then, hearing no further comment, I will adjourn this meeting. Thank you. Okay, I call to order this May 12, 2022 meeting of Carlisle Borough Council. We will begin, as we always do, with a moment of silence and Pledge of Allegiance to the flag tonight by Councilor Hicks. Councilor Hicks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before we begin a moment of silence, I just want to bring to everyone's attention that this Saturday, May 14th, starting at 7, there will be a Ukraine prayer service and vigil. It's a service for the Carlisle community to offer spiritual support toward ending the war in Ukraine with a just peace. This will be located at Carlisle Theater, 40 West High Street. Again, that's this Saturday at 7 p.m. And this is sponsored by the J. Sherwood McGinnis Jr. War, Peace, and Justice Project. Tonight's moment of silence is related to that. I just wanted all of us to acknowledge in our own way the tragedy of the war going on there, the innocents involved, and the lives that are just been turned topsy-turvy. For every incident we see that's horrific. There are probably dozens of others we don't see. War is a terrible thing, and I just, in your own way, I just spend the next few moments recognizing individuals affected. Thank you. And now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Cramsey?
Here.
Mr. Hicks?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Landis?
Here.
Ms. Mellon? She is
Here.
Thank you. Ms. Perry?
Here.
And Mayor Schultz.
Here. And we do have Councilor Mellon via Zoom. So before we roll in any further into the agenda, I would entertain a motion to permit Councilor Mellon to attend this meeting by video conference.
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilor Hicks. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Deputy Mayor. Call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on to me going down to the podium. So if the borough manager, the chief of police, and Lieutenant Miller would join me at the podium. So we have a number of extra police officers here tonight that we're not normally used to. So it either means we're going to be recognizing some police officers or the jig is up. So, but tonight I'm going to we've promoted a police officer. That's always a special time for the Carlisle Police Department and the Borough of Carlisle. So I'm going to provide a bit of an outline how that process works. Talk briefly about now Lieutenant Miller, and then pass it on to the borough manager. So starting back in the fall of 2021, officers took a written examination for promotions. Those individuals having a passing score as outlined in the borough's civil service regulations were then advanced to oral examinations. The oral examination was conducted by a 4-person panel consisting of 2 persons from the Carlisle community, designated by the borough manager, the chief of police, and a law enforcement officer in the rank of lieutenant or higher, selected by the chief. The minimum passing score for the examination, for that portion of the examination, was 80%. We did have community members, Vincent Champion, Sonia Brown, and Carlos Rojas as our community panelists. So although I don't believe they're here tonight, we thank them for serving the borough. The process then concludes with an oral examination with the borough manager and the chief of police. And I feel like we need like one of those movie trailer guys to say, look, they're in a borough looking for the right man. There was only one for the job. But while Dave was the only officer to make it to the final round of oral examinations, Borough Manager Armstrong noted that she personally found the interview session enlightening as she learned more about his interests, aspirations, technical capabilities, and philosophical perspectives, with an emphasis on Dave's strong work ethic and dedication to the Borough of Carlisle and our police department as most noteworthy. I'm going to digress a little bit here because then Sergeant Miller is one of the officers I've done ride-alongs with, and I think I was with you probably till about like 2 or 3 a.m. that evening. It was a quiet night, but he did get a call on his cell phone. I think it was a potential SRT call that evening. It turned out to be another department just looking for advice on how to handle a situation. But That was meaningful to me because it told me that a couple of things. One, it's a beautiful thing when municipalities cooperate and departments cooperate. Two, that we have some special officers here in Carlisle. And really a third thing, that we have a special officer here in Dave Miller. So Dave, we congratulate you on this very well-deserved promotion, and we look forward to you helping to advance our organization and the community's objectives, embracing public service as you always have, and ensuring our residents have an excellent quality of life. Dave, congratulations on your promotion. And I'll pass it on to the borough manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I get the privilege this evening for many of you that's in the audience. You already know Dave personally. For those who may not, I thought we'd take an opportunity to just share some of the highlights from his professional career with you. So, believe it or not, William David Miller served 10 years in the United States Coast Guard, starting at the age of 17. In January of 1997, he was hired by the Carlisle Police Department and has been honored to serve the department and this community for more than 25 years. He has been entrusted to serve as a supervisor in our agency since 1999, first starting as an officer in charge, later promoted to corporal, then later to sergeant, as he took on growing leadership roles. As the mayor indicated, he has served on the Cumberland County Special Response Team for more than 23 years, and for the last several years has been honored to support the team in the role of commander for SRT. Throughout these years with the department, Dave has expressed that he has felt blessed to carry a number of responsibilities, to assist the department as an instructor in proficiencies such as firearms, defensive tactics, taser, less lethal tools, impact weapons, and use of force, while also serving at one point in time as K-9 officer for approximately 8 years, I believe. Dave used the opportunity to support the Carlisle Police Department, neighboring agencies, and continue to serve and represent our fine community. Approximately 5 years ago, he was placed in an administrative sergeant position with the police department. In this role, he strove to improve the conditions of training, equipment, hiring processes, and overall professionalism within the department. It also provided an outlet for his passion to expand the police department's involvement in community events, build relationships, and increase opportunities for understanding with the citizens who we serve. Among a variety of leadership courses and training that Dave has attended throughout his career, and we won't go into all those, I know personally that he felt privileged to attend the 11-week-long FBI National Academy back in 2019, which is considered a highly prized opportunity among law enforcement executive leadership. So, that's the career achievements, but more importantly, Dave is actually coming up on 29 years of marriage to his wife Sharon, who is with us this evening, and the two of them have been blessed to raise 4 daughters. One whom is, maybe more than one now, 2 are in the audience, who are all out serving their families and communities in their own special way. So Dave, congratulations, well deserved, and I'm going to pass it over to Chief Landis at this point.
Please, let it be known that this certificate of promotion to W. David Miller is hereby appointed a second lieutenant in the police department of the borough of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, on this day, May 2022. This particular thing is very important in that it's a family that makes this work. You know, where his wife has been married to him for a long time, his daughter's been put up with him missing holidays and everything else. What I'm going to ask is that his daughters step forward and pin on this second lieutenant bars. Oh, I should give you this. No, give no Purple Hearts. Stick 'em. You practice this. At this time, I'd like to invite Lieutenant Miller's family, the mayor, the borough manager for a photo op, and the borough council if the mayor says he wants him up there. Okay, stand over here.
You guys go get a little closer. Surprise a little. There, perfect.
Chief Landis, you have a couple more to go, right?
I also want to thank the members of the police department that didn't have to run out on calls, and the family members that came to this also. You ready?
Yes, do you want to go ahead and explain the process?
Okay. This year we're also celebrating our 2 Officers of the Year. We have 2 particularly fine officers, and what happens here is that the process is the supervisors of the police department vote on the officers who take calls, are most proactive in doing what's right, helping other officers. And what happened is, I'm the tiebreaker. When all the supervisors vote, I'm the tiebreaker. Obviously, I didn't do my job well because we have 2. But the vote are very much deserved. What I'm going to ask is, would Officer Joseph Brzezinski post, please? And Officer Ryan Mitter, post, please, in front of me. Don't they look sharp? Bio, please.
Okay,
I was coming.
we'll go in alphabetical order. So Officer Ryan Menner, just a few of his career achievements during his short stint with the Borough of Carlisle. Officer Menner started his career as a New York Police Department police officer and then was hired by the Carlisle Police Department in July of 2019. Professional highlights since his hiring just 3 years ago. Officer Menner has conducted squad investigator assignments that have helped hone his skill sets with respect to criminal investigations. He was responsible for discovering a male who had homemade explosives in his residence, and Officer Menner was able to render them safe with the assistance of bomb technicians from the Pennsylvania State Police. Officer Menner was responsible for an arrest in an attempted homicide involving a stabbing within minutes after the incident occurred. Officer Menner is also Just recently, responsible for the arrest of an individual who vandalized approximately 25 vehicles through the borough at the end of 2021. According to Officer Menor, one of his most rewarding events since arriving in Carlisle has been performing life-saving measures on a male who was in cardiac arrest and helping to revive him, along with our Corporal Van Valkenburg and Officer Rysinski. Officer Menor. Officer Joe Rysinski began his career as a Pennsylvania State Park Ranger, then was hired by the Pennsylvania Capitol Police, and later by the Carlisle Police Department in January of 2016. Professional highlights since his hiring: squad investigators whose responsibility is to conduct criminal investigations and interviews, gather evidence, and assist as necessary, including, among others, assisting in a number of overdose and shooting investigations. A member of the Cumberland County Special Response Team, participating in high-risk warrants, suspect apprehension, and barricaded subjects. A field training officer responsible for new officer training, focusing on productivity, competencies in order to serve our Carlisle community. He's also known to be a defensive tactics instructor, and I'm pleased that he participates alongside me and several other staff members as on the Carlisle Borough Human Relations Commission. He represents the Carlisle Police Department. He is the liaison for the HRC. Finally, and noteworthy, is when asked, he too, like Officer Menor, one of the most rewarding topics to date has been he, along with Corporal Van Valkenburg and Officer Menor, responding to a cardiac arrest at a local business, performing life-saving measures. The gentleman survived and was taken to the hospital for treatment. So with that being said, I think that your superiors have made excellent choices in their decision for Officers of the Year. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Certificate. Carlisle Police Department awards Officer of the year 2021, Officer Ryan Menor. Certificate. Carlisle Police Department awards Officer of the year 2001, Officer Joseph Brzezinski. Mr. Mayor, do you have anything? Sure.
This is your show, Chief.
Would you please face the crowd? The formal part of this is done. But these two particular officers in particular, well, first of all, I've got to acknowledge retired Sergeant Klepper, who started the Officer of the Year program, and he's kicking me in the pants for making 2 Officers of the Year. For both these guys have some particular qualities that are very, very unique. Both have their wives here. Say hello, wives. Very good. And Joe's parents are here. I'll start with the senior officer, Officer Brzezinski. Officer Brzezinski got like ice water in his veins. And anyone who works with him knows that this guy is absolutely cool all the time. Absolutely cool all the time. And because his wife's here, we won't go into the nickname McDream. We won't go into that. Officer Menor came from New York, and he impressed us in his interview when he came. He impressed us. This guy can talk. You know, Officer Menor, great. I tease him a lot because I say he didn't get any vitamin B until he came here. He worked in the subway, had a basement apartment in New York City. So he came here to Carlisle to get vitamin B. So we're happy to have them both. Both of them are extreme assets. The one story that you heard about finding the explosives in the house is particularly harrowing because he heard the explosion while he was on patrol and found the house and got into the house where it was. This could have taken out a whole block of Carlisle. So you just don't know what kind of heroes you have here. This being police week, these two guys are in fact heroes. And I just want to thank them both. They're both great officers. Because after, forget anything about you guys, did you say? We have a motto there at the police department: take your job seriously, but not yourself. And believe me, they give just as good as they get. They mess with me on a regular basis. Get them later. Would you like to take pictures, man?
Yes.
Would you like to have
Please.
family with you?
Yes, please.
Would your families please mind joining for a picture out, please? Okay, I was bossy last time. Now I gotta do it again. Move over here. Get over here. Wow, Aaron? You want to take pictures?
I'll get there first.
It's a good thing they didn't send 3 or 4 up your way, Chief. Because he's not expecting.
You know what's going to happen next year. You won't be quite as safe.
Nice tie breaking, Chief. Though we appreciate that.
Thanks.
I'm happy to know. I didn't realize that Officer Wazinski was a ranger. So I don't know how he's McDreamy, not like Ranger Rick or something. Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
But when you're a police officer, that kind of stuff sticks with you forever. So, okay, we will move on to the consent agenda. The following is a list of routine items which do not appear to be controversial in nature and which probably do not require additional discussion. They can be acted on by one motion in their current form. If discussion is desired on any particular item, any member of council or the public may request the item be removed from the consent agenda, and that item will be considered separately. Any such item to be removed requested by the public? Any item requested to be removed by council? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve this consent agenda.
Make the motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve by the deputy mayor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilor Perry. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
That was an aye by Councilor Cramsey. Those opposed, the motion passes. We have a mic issue. You might be able to drag one of the other mics over. Okay, we'll trade. Okay, so that takes care of all the items on the white pages of the agenda. Move on to the regular agenda. There are no table continued and recurring items. I this evening have no reports, so we'll move on to reports from committees. Councilor Cramsey, Economic Development.
That's not going to work. Thanks. I'll try to speak loudly into your microphone. So I have one item tonight. I'll make a motion that Borough Council may approve upon a resolution for a proposed local economic development liquor license requested by RDH Downtown LLC to obtain an economic development liquor license for the premises at 10 North Pitt Street, Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
There is a motion by Councilor Cramsey. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Councilor Perry. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes.
That ends my report. Thanks.
Thank you. Public safety. I move that council approve the May 30, 2022 Memorial Day Parade from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Parade route is as follows. Parade begins on North Hanover Street at North Street, proceeds south on North Hanover Street to South Street. The parade turns right onto West Pomfret Street and proceeds west to South Pitt Street. The parade turns right then onto South Pitt Street and proceeds north to West High Street. Then turns right at West High Street and disbands at the square. I'm not reading this all again next year. The Memorial Day ceremony at the Veterans Memorial Courtyard will begin at 9:45 a.m. Traffic is closed only around the square per the special events application request. Streets should reopen at 11:30 a.m. This approval is contingent upon the receipt of a valid certificate of liability insurance form naming the Borough of Carlisle as an additional insured. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Hicks. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion passes. I next move that Council adopt the 2022 version of the Emergency Operations Plan for the Borough of Carlisle. The new EOP will replace the present EOP that was adopted on December 4th, 2019. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Hicks. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. That concludes my report. Move on to Parks and Recreation. Councilor Mellon, do you prefer that I take that one for you tonight, or do you want to handle it?
No, I've got it.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. I move that council adopt a resolution in support of the September 11th National Memorial Trail as it passes through Carlisle along borough streets and bike routes connecting to the Latort Spring Run Trail and South Middleton Township.
Motion to adopt a resolution by Councilor Mellon. I will second that motion and call the question. All of those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes.
That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Public Works, Councilor Perry.
I make a motion for council to adopt an ordinance amending the code of the Borough of Carlisle with respect to Chapter 244, Vehicles and Traffic, to change the section of Fairground Avenue between A Street and B Street from a one-way to a two-way road. This calls for a roll call vote.
There is a motion by Councilor Perry for an ordinance to amend the Borough Code with respect to Chapter 244 to change the section of Fairground Avenue between A and B streets from one-way to two-way roadway. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Hicks. This is a roll call. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Cramsey?
Aye.
Mr. Hicks?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Landis?
Aye.
Ms. Mellon?
Aye.
Ms. Perry?
Aye.
And Mayor Schultz.
Aye. The motion passes unanimously. Councilor Perry, continue.
So my second is I make a motion for the Borough Council to authorize renewal of the annual service contract with Rhythm Engineering to provide technical support and in-sync software updates for the adaptive traffic signal system installed throughout the borough along the Hanover and High Street corridors.
It's a motion by Councilor Perry for the renewal of an annual service contract with Rhythm Engineering. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Hicks. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. That concludes your report. We'll move on to Sustainable Economic and Community Planning. Councilor Hicks.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Two items this evening. First, I move the council approve a final subdivision land development plan for Chesterfield subdivision, Phase 3 Alpha, submitted by Pantera Engineering Incorporated for S&A Homes to subdivide the 4.926 acre parcel located between Kensington Court and Sussex Drive in our R2 medium density residential zoning district into 11 single family residential lots, one open space lot for stormwater management, and construct the remaining portion of Cheltenham Drive to access the proposed lots, subject to the applicant's acceptance and satisfactory resolution of the conditions listed therein.
Motion by Councilor Hicks for the approval of the final subdivision and land development plan for Chesterfield subdivision, Phase 3A. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Deputy Mayor. I will call the question. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you. My second item is I move that council reapprove a final land development plan for Lot 6, Phase 1, Northside Village, prepared by BL Companies. Original date, July 22nd, 2020. Latest revision, April 6th, 2022, subject to the applicant's acceptance and satisfactory resolution of the conditions listed herein.
There's a motion for reapproval of final land development plan for Lot 6, Phase 1, Northside Village. Is there a second?
Second.
Sorry, the motion by Councilor Hicks, second by the Deputy Mayor. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion passes.
That completes my report. Thanks.
Thank you. Move on to new business. This is another opportunity for the public to address council on any item related to borough government. Town hall is clearing out, so I don't think there's going to be anything from here. Anything by Zoom, and nothing by Zoom. We'll go reports from council members, and you're lonely over here to my left, so and you don't have a microphone that works.
So nothing tonight. It's a sign.
Okay, and I'll pass along to the deputy mayor. Anything?
I just wanted to, and I don't have anyone to speak to. Hopefully, there's someone on Zoom, but
we're listening to you.
Just for well, you can't apply for my volunteer openings on. But yeah, we had sort of a backlog of volunteer openings, and I'm slowly digging through. But we had the we talked about Civil Service Commission just today, and through the process of working with the police force, so we have opportunities on civil service, Board of Appeals, Climate Action Committee for both Energy Efficiency and Behavior Task Force and the Decarbonization Task Force, and 2 positions on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So we have opportunities to engage our residents. So please reach out. It's all on our website, and you can chat with me and Councilor Mellon as well, and maybe have a little chat about opportunities. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Hicks.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one thing. I was asked to speak on fairly short notice next 2 weeks from now at Penn State University's Energy Days. It's a 2-day annual conference they have to discuss various Commonwealth energy issues. And the particular panel that they were looking to fill was to engage and reinforce the importance of the connections between local government and academic institutions, in particular meeting environmental and climate goals. And I'll just echo, the establishment of the panel really confirms the need for the wider community to assist in their expertise and their time to make up for, frankly, limited resources. Human, financial, and it really is incumbent on the wider community, including the academic communities, to be a participant in that. And I think to that, we've engaged in-state and out-of-state universities to look at some of our climate problems. We had briefings this week. I appreciate Jared and Mark and Richard and Susan. I think you might have popped in and really gave high quality analysis that, for lack of a better term, really gets us on the right track to get some final solutions and not just talk, but actually deliver on our climate goals. So, Dickinson's walking the walk. We need more universities doing that, and I'm going to be a big advocate for that in a couple of weeks, and I hope to bring some good information back with me. But that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilor Perry.
I have nothing.
Councilor Mellon, anything for us this evening?
I would just say, despite the fact that it's very tempting to do so, don't let your guard down. The pandemic is not over, and I don't wish this on anyone. And stay safe.
Hope you feel well soon.
Get better, Kate, quickly, please.
Borough Manager Armstrong, anything?
Nothing more to report.
Nothing from staff. The rest of staff.
Staff, anything you wish to report?
They're smiling, ready to go. So I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you all.